Hello everyone and welcome back to CodeSploit's YouTube tutorials. Today this is Drake here and I am starting up a series on mastering Linux, which is the most widely used operating systems by professionals. A number of you have written to me about regarding the operating system which is best for hacking. I'll start by saying that nearly every professional and expert hacker uses Linux or Unix. Although some of the hacks can be done using Windows or Mac OS, but nearly all other hacking tools are specifically developed for Linux. Although there are some exceptions, though including softwares like Enable, Havage, ZenMap, Metasploit that are developed or ported for Windows. When these Linux apps are developed in Linux and then ported over to Windows, they often lose some of these capabilities. In addition to these capabilities, they are built into Linux and not simply available in Windows. To summarize, to be a real expert hacker, you must master a few Linux skills, and those which work with the most famous distro, that's Kali. For those of you who have never used Linux, I dedicate this series on the basics of Linux with an emphasis on the skills you need for hacking. So fire up your Kali from the VirtualBox menu, and remember, to become proficient in Linux you must master this terminal. Many things can be done now in the various Linux distributions by simply pointing and clicking, but still, which is similar to Windows and Mac operating systems, but the expert or the real hacker must know how to use the terminal to run most of the hacking tools. So let's open up a terminal by clicking on the terminal icon. You have it here. If you are using it GNOME for Kali, which is the default one, you will be having it most probably here. And one thing I am gonna remark here, I am running XFCE as UI on Kali, as you can see, which is actually a lightweight system and is basically less memory consuming than the GNOME interface. And for more convenience, we have our developers at Kali who have now suited our desktop environment specially, so you can head over to the download site of Kali and then have the XFCE crafted ISO file, and you can install it just like the Kali installation video I have posted. So open up the terminal. It will look similar to this. If you have ever used the command prompt in Windows, the Linux terminal is similar like that, but actually it's far more powerful. Unlike the Windows command prompt, you can do everything in Linux from this terminal and control it more precisely than that of Windows. Fine. And one more important thing, it's important to keep in mind that unlike Windows, Linux is case sensitive, which means that this desktop and this desktop is different, as well as this also is different. So those who are new to Linux will often find this challenging, but keep in mind, you get used to this stuff. So first of all, let's start up with some basic Linux. Many beginners get tripped by the structure of the file system in Linux, which is not like Windows. Unlike Windows, Linux file system is not linked to the physical drive like the Windows. Let me open up Explorer, you will understand better. You can see this is the Explorer. Let me hide up the files. There. You can see this is similar to that of Windows, desktop, documents, downloads, music, pictures, videos, and this is a custom folder I put here. Templates, videos, and everything. And see, as you have in Windows, it doesn't have a C drive, E drive, or D drive. It has root. Root is the directory in which we basically work. So, and one thing, to have a good understanding of the basic file structure, you must be a root user. without a root user or root user account you won't be able to explore these file structures properly. So let me head over to the file system. You have a couple of folders here, so let's get one by one. You have bin. Bin is the directory. This is the directory where the binaries are stored. Actually, these are the scripts of the programs, all these executable scripts. These are the scripts or programs which are used to make the Linux system run. Okay, so let's head over to another important directory structure, which is etc. etc is generally a folder where the configuration files for each and every tool is stored. All these are the configuration files you can see, and everything in Linux is configured with a text file stored under this folder. You can see Nikto, which is actually a reconnaissance stealth scanner, and all these are the config files especially. Fine, let's head over to the dev. Dev is basically the folder which holds the device files, which is similar to the Windows device drivers. You know that Windows System 32. And finally, let me head over to the last and the final important, which is var. Var is the folder which is generally the log files are stored. You can see the log files are stored actually in here. Okay, so this was all about the exploring the directories. So let's first of all open up the terminal, and I will just initialize today's tutorial with just 3 to 4 commands, and the most important of them is first command I will be starting off with is pwd. Okay, so when we are opening up a terminal, the default directory is our home directory, which in Linux we call root. So if we type pwd is basically stands for present working directory. So we are working in the home directory, that's root. Actually, this pwd is a handy command to remember, as we can use it anytime to tell us which directory we are. For example, if we are messed up with stuffs, okay, so we can do pwd, and we can understand that we are at the core of the operating system. So another command, let me tell you, is the change directory command, cd change directory to, I'll change my directory to root. Yeah, once I have changed my directory to root, you will find this one / will change to this spline symbol. The spline symbol indicates that we are in the root directory. Once we do a ls, we will find all similar the folders which we see in our directories. Let me open up this, and you can see all these folders are just the same. You can see config, desktop, and everything. Okay, ls is the command is for listing the files, which is similar to the dir. ls, if you do l, it will give you a more different view of your files and folders. You can see, first of all, this is the file permissions, and I'll cover all this in future tutorials. Just I'm covering up the ls command. ls command l will give you a more detailed this. You can do ls a to list all the hidden files. You can see so many hidden files in here in the root directory. So what I will do, I will head over to view, and then I will show the hidden files, and you will see all similar stuff which is listed here, same as in here. Okay, and we can also do a pwd again to ensure we are in the root directory. Fine. Okay, and another command I will be covering up is whoami. whoami is actually the command which will return the name of the user we are logged in as. Since we are the root user, we can basically we can log into any other account which is there on this Linux system. So that's it for now. In our next several tutorials, I will continue to give you the basics of Linux that you will be needed to getting a startup in Linux. So keep visiting back. Till then, have a safe hack. Thank you. Good luck and goodbye.